you had that feeling that the detective side of it was the strong point. You know, what
Absolutely.
is he? Is he the world's greatest detective?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you could see it. Of course, I'm a big fan of the beef between the police and Batman,
Yeah.
and starting right out with that was awesome. You know, of course, Batman's there doing his job, but the cops are like, "Wait, he's doing our job, and he has to wear a mask." Of course, that beef is a staple of any Batman movie. But just seeing, that he actually understands the riddles, understands what actually happened in the bigger picture of it. It's where he comes in. That's his specialty, and we've never seen that. Like
Right.
this is a unique Batman, and the only time you're really doing this is when you're playing the Arkham video games, and half the time you're solving puzzles that you would have to YouTube to
Absolutely.
beat.
No, you're right. And I think kind of, building off what you said about the relationship between Batman and the police in this film, I liked how he kind of worked symbiotically with them instead of him just being on the run, which is pretty much what it was for most of the Nolan films. Like whenever the cops would show up, he'd be on the run. And I like how he
That's
kind
right.
of was like this grounded like guy that just would show up because Gordon respected him. And dude, this is the best portrayal of Gordon that I've seen probably since probably Gary Oldman, who was really good as Gordon. But even so, I think Jeffrey Wright was even more complex than Gary Oldman's Gordon
Oh yeah,
was. I think this is probably the best portrayal of Gordon I've seen. Just in terms of like he got a lot of screen time, he has a lot of purpose in this film. And I love his relationship with Batman in this movie. It's very earned. And yeah, I thought Jeffrey Wright was great. Was a great casting for this role. He was really good, and I liked his work in Westworld a lot. Even though I didn't love Westworld, kind of the direction
yeah,
it went,
he was
but
great.
he was
He
always
was great.
giving top notch performances. So like, it was very interesting to see him play this character where he kind of has to toe the line of being the cop, but also I wish though that with him that they made him a little bit less. I think making him a little less trustworthy of Batman. I wish he would have been a little bit more suspicious of Batman, and there was a little bit more friction there because, like, where he was kind of almost having I wish he had more of a cognitive dissonance, I guess, of like, should I really be putting all my stock in Batman when like these are my colleagues and these are the people I work with?
Yeah,
Because I feel like at the point where he's like, I trust you, I don't trust them, and it's like, well, that just kind of felt a little bit out of place to me because it's like, because Gordon like he's because he's a cop, you would think like he would have a little bit more trust in his colleagues in that way than he did. But I mean, and I think that would have made some more interesting tension for the film, between Gordon and Batman, because it just felt like he was just going with whatever Batman was saying, and it was just kind of like,
right.
I don't know.
And he actually, I don't even know if what did yeah, he's not even commissioner. Of course, he's just a lieutenant, so he
Yeah,
has some say. But
right.
he is really, I mean, it looks like he's running the show, and then you're like, oh wait, there's an actual there's somebody else who's commissioner, or like there's someone actually who's like a police chief, and Gordon's basically running his own show, which normally is how the Gordon character is portrayed. But no, Jeffrey Wright, great acting choice, and the list. I mean, the cast of this is pretty stocked. I mean,